Welcome to the Flicks Picks in the Nitpicks, and I am your humble host, Nove718. Man, let's talk about it. I just did a episode 6 of our throwback session with T, and I was gonna try and do a live streaming reaction with the Wonder Woman trailer because it just dropped when I went on DC Fandom. Remember, make sure you're watching it today. And this is going to be the first time we're going to do a review together. So let me bring in Mr. T the Truth in a second. Well, T is already in the middle of watching it, and I wanted him to come in on this intro part just to do our setup. But my setup is this is going to be the first time me seeing this trailer. I haven't seen it. I've seen the other trailers, and I actually like what they've done so far with the Wonder Woman 84. I do have my own complaints and criticisms, but that's more for behind the scenes in terms of like the paradigm. But in terms of what they've shown on screen, I have no complaints. I have no real complaints. I have things I'm very trepidatious about, but what we need to do with this next trailer is to bring it home. They've stretched this out long enough. You know what I mean? In terms of, like, we know what's going on in the world, so it's not its fault. They pushed it back before on its own accord, but then we're all the way at this point when it got pushed back because of the environment that we're in today with the pandemic. That being said, now, they're going to have to reignite what they've been trying to do all this time, was to maintain the momentum of it with the DC fandom, and with Snyder coming. This is a way to give it another breath of life, but also this trailer has to show something brand new. Now, in going on fandom by accident, I happened to get a glimpse of Cheetah, so I slightly cheated. T's already looking at the trailer right now. I just want to make sure I do this intro so I could come in and watch it with you guys live and direct with me. Then I'm gonna go call T. He'll come in, give his first impressions. We'll talk a little bit, watch it one more again, and then we'll give our final analysis. And this will be at least a cool time for the first time to have T on the channel with a semi-trailer first review. So that will be kind of cool. So let me just get this thing set up, and I'll see you on the other end with the trailer.
This world is not yet ready for all that you will do. Your time will come, Diana. And everything will be different.
Citizens of the world,
I'm here to change your life.
anything you want, anything you dream of, you can have it.
You look like you saw a ghost. Diana, look at you. It's like not one day has passed.
She's so bad.
I don't want to be like anyone. I want to be an apex predator. You've always had everything, while people like me have had nothing.
Okay.
Well, now it's my turn. Get used to it.
I've never been one for rules. The answer is always more.
Okay.
The way I fly, they will never find us.
I forgot to tell you.
What?
Radar.
Will they shoot at us?
Oh, the invisible joint. Okay.
Barbara, what did you do?
Okay.
You know, I'm not so keen on this one. I figure you are, but you know what? I'm ready to go.
I think we can do better.
parachute pants?
Yeah.
Does everybody parachute now?
This is what's up. I like what I'm seeing so far. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing so far. I'm gonna bring T in and we'll share our initial thoughts, watch it again, and we'll come back for our final analysis. So let me bring T in. So I got T with me. I don't know how many times he's seen the trailer. He was supposed to see it once and give his initial thoughts. Oh, okay, because I just seen it the one time. And your initial thoughts.
Excited. I like the trailer. I like the trailer a lot. I thought it showed the right amount of action. There were some things that I've seen before. There was obviously some new footage. Some real standout scenes, but overall, I thought it was a very good trailer to get people excited for the sequel to, DC EU, is that what it's called? One of their biggest films, which was Wonder Woman.
All right. For me, I mean, everybody should know that I'm actually looking forward to Wonder Woman 84. I am trepidatious about it, but it did exactly what the trailer was supposed to do. They had to show Cheetah because, like I told you guys in the intro, they've been pushing this film back for quite some time once they getting into the rollout of the marketing for the film. And unfortunately, with everything that's going on, they already pushed it back on their own accord from before. We know about DC in-house stuff going on, but also with everything going on with the pandemic and pushing it back and the hesitation, they needed to impact hard today. One thing that is helping out bringing life back to DC is a resurgence of fandom in the this weekend's fandom, that they actually had to put one out and all surrounding where DC's going, but specifically the linchpin being Zack Snyder's Justice League, and they needed that's already getting its own. That's gonna be the main course later today, but for Wonder Woman 84 to have been pushed back so many different times, and we're not even sure if they're going to push it back again, they needed to win big by jumping out the gate. And the only thing that they had to hold back on was showing the reveal of Cheetah. There was some things out there, I don't know if you've seen it before, T, but there, and we've discussed it on the show before, like some artwork of how she would look. So finally we got to see her. And that, to me, was the apex of everything. I think they're doing the Invisible Jet 2. I wonder how they're going to pull that one off. But as far as the trailer's concerned, it's good. The reveal of Cheetah, I like what I see so far. But I only seen the trailer one time. But we're going to check it out one more again. And we'll come back on the final thing. And we'll kind of discuss it a little bit more in depth. It's only a trailer. And we'll see if we have any changes in how we look at it, or if we picked up anything that we didn't pick up on the first watch. So we'll jump back on. We'll come in after the jump with T, and then we'll just dig a little bit deeper into the trailer to see if it did its job, and then we out. So let me cue it up real quick, and T, I'll be with you shortly when we come back after the jump.
Oh.
Okay, let me just cue this bad boy up and go.
This world is not yet ready for all that you will do. Your time will come, Diana. And everything will be different.
Citizens of the world,
I'm here to change your life.
anything you want, anything you dream of, you can have it.
You look like you saw a ghost. Diana, look at you. It's like not one day has passed.
I don't want to be like anyone. I want to be
She looking all right. Kristen Wiig is looking all right. But baby, look at my baby.
You've always had
Y'all
everything.
get that.
while people like me have had nothing. Well, now it's my turn. Get used to it.
I've never been one for rules. The answer is always more. The way I fly, they will never find us.
I forgot to tell you.
What?
Radar.
Will they shoot at us?
I hope that's not them to do that.
Barbara, what did you do?
Okay.
You know, I'm not so keen on this one. I figure you are, but you know what? I'm ready to go.
I think we can do better.
Parachute pants?
Yeah,
Does everybody parachute now?
Okay. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Let me talk to T. All right, so this is our second after watching it again and getting a bigger assessment of it. T, did you have any like deeper thoughts, any changes towards the trailer, anything concerns?
No, to be completely honest, watching it a second time around, I got the same reaction I got from the first one, which is a testament to the first trailer, which was, it made me go, wow, I'm really interested. I thought that it was what a trailer was. The object of the trailer is to grab. That's the object of a trailer. You know, a teaser trailer is supposed to whet your appetite and kind of, but a trailer is supposed to grab you. Not this is the second trailer because there was one before, but and obviously the next trailer is supposed to reveal a little bit more, and it did. And so I really have nothing to add to it except it did its job. It grabbed me and said, "Hey, I'm excited to see when this comes out."
Well, I mean, I'd like to second that I think a trailer is supposed to basically not only get your attention but garner interest to go see the film. It's supposed to be the thing that's supposed the aroma of the pie to get you into the pie shop, if you will. And definitely it's hit my nose, and I definitely like the fragrance. There was a couple of things I did notice about it though. They used the same little girl that was in the first movie, so I'm assuming either that little girl didn't grow up or they're using unused footage, which I think that Patty Jenkins might have mentioned that she used some old footage from Themyscira.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she injected it in the film. But also, again, one thing I thought that was quite a standout to me, it looked like Kirsten Wiig is going to bring something way more dynamic to the character. So it seems, because I'm not sure how heavy they're going to lay into the comedic nature of this film, because there's a lot of things going on with, but I want to judge the trailer against itself. So the trailer beat by beat was exactly like the first one, even down to the end joke at the end shtick, which kind of like dovetails into what a lot of other more pristine reviewers would always discuss about Gal Gadot's acting acumens. A lot of people feel like she's not the strongest actress, independent. As an actress on herself, not so much the film. One thing a lot of people hallmark Patty for is that she brought something out of Gal Gadot and knew how to shoot and knew who to pair her up with to bring out a successful performance, which I never had an issue with the performance at all. Even down to her accent, it just works with who she was in the first film, being a fish out of water character. So her accent being completely dissimilar from the environment in which she was with kind of also led into that. So for me, the way they're playing this film up, it seems to be the reverse effect. He's a new fish out of water in the world in the world that he's from, of course, but in a time that is unlike his own. So it's gonna be a switch around, which is cool. And like I said, I mean, but beat by beat, the trailer went just like the first trailer with the end joke at the end. Will it be a lot more funny? I'm assuming so. I mean, because I know this was around the time when they were going into discussions of a lighter DCEU. I hear it's supposed to be more of a romantic comedy, and that it does seem. And I don't think that's a bad way to go. Some people seem to have some reservations on the idea of romantic comedy. We haven't done that yet. In terms of creating a genre within the cinematic genre of comic book films, I don't think we've seen that yet. We've gotten the Disney princess in the first film of hers. The second one, why not a romantic comedy? But I just hope that they. I mean, again, I'm more from the Snyderverse. I was more interested in that direction. And what it seems to be is Kirsten Wiig is going to be bringing a lot more dramatic chops, and I think she's the one to really watch, because I'm not gonna say the film lives and dies on her. The superhero part of it might, because I mean, not to say that you always need a imposing villain, but imposing villain really helps in the superhero aspect of it. I feel like this film is gonna be all about the emotional relationship between Gal Gadot and I forget his name, man. I'm forgetting his name right now. Chris Pine, yeah. And their characters and how they play off. I think the film is going to really rely off of you believing in their emotional connection and their chemistry. And they still have it. But the wild card will be Kirsten Wiig, to see if she coming from a comedic background in comedy, can she bring an imposing villain or something very interesting to the table? She will not be exactly the first direct villain we've seen. No, because they had the Poison Girl, but this is going to be the first real, I think she'll be the first DCEU female threat, yeah. So, as long as I'm hoping that she could pull it. Some of the shots, it seems like she's really into it. It looked like she's serious. It looked like she's playing off the seriousness. And something very interesting with Kirsten Wiig, she's playing off a certain level of sexiness in some of the shots that I hope they really can do, that can actually really stretch her as an actress to go from being this quirky, unassuming woman to being this now seductress, sexy woman, which I'm assuming that's going to be the beginning stage before she totally evolve into the strong villainess that known as I was going to say Chitara, but Cheetah. Your thoughts?
Well, I can't really add anything to it. I really thought that, I don't know if it's going to really play on their, how I would say, their romance or their relationship, because it's going to be interesting how he's actually brought back into the fold, seeing that we known him to have passed away in the first one. I think that Kristen Wiig, I think that is an interesting choice because she is known for a comedic background. And I'm assuming one of the reasons why she's brought in is because there's going to be a little bit of awkwardness to Cheetah. And Kristen Wiig kind of does this awkward thing very well.
Oh, yeah, that's a strong point.
If you've seen Bridesmaids, she
no, I haven't. I don't think I've seen Bridesmaids.
Well, if you've seen Bridesmaids, then you would know what I'm talking about when I see awkward character who comes into her own. So I think that is going to be a major thing, and I think maybe because of that transformation, that's going to be a big thing for the transformation. So, like I said, I really don't have really much to add to it. It's just I think that it's going to be interesting. Like it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. But I am excited for the movie. I did love the last scene, with the whole Chris Pine trying on the different clothes and obviously having the
and that was the same type of scene like the garbage scene, beat by beat.
Yeah. So, and again,
with the parachute pants, he's the parachute pants.
So I guess that's going to play into, he's the fish out of water. And that's all. So I'm very excited to see when it finally come out, because again, we really don't know.
Yeah, we really don't. I think last time I checked, I think is it still August or not August? It's November, right?
I thought I heard August, but I doubt that it's gonna make.
I doubt it's gonna be August. Yeah.
Next week is the last week of August. So
Yeah.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah, that's a whole fact. I mean, I guess we shall see. I mean, I'll leave with this. And again, I think my biggest concern was Kristen Wiig. And like I said, I think she's going to be the person that I'm really focusing on. I want to see her transform. No one looks at Kristen Wiig as sexy. And even if it's for a short scene, I've always stopped it at that scene. I was glad to see people put stills of it because she didn't look like she couldn't walk in them heels. And them heels was way higher than what Gal Gadot wore with them nice long legs and the white dress, but she had shorter heels. This chick is like up in the air, walking and strutting. And I was looking at it like, okay, I'm looking at Kristen Wiig a little different, and that's what I liked. It was the fact that I've never looked at her in that kind of way. Like, I mean, now that I've watched a lot of her skits on Saturday Night Live since the first trailers, and the first trailer came out last year sometime, I've really been kind of like watching a lot of SNL skits, and there's a skit that she does with another guy where they're just trying to make each other laugh, and that's part of the skit, but she gotta try to keep up with him, so he'll be like, you know that song we made? Yeah. And he's just coming up with songs on the fly, like you can tell it's totally unscripted, and she's like, yeah, and she's trying to sound like she knows what he's talking about, and the guy would say it goes like this, and then she's supposed to really keep up with him like she know what he's talking about, and you can see her almost breaking character. Like, that just seems like that's the point of the skit. They're in character, but the guy that's leading her off, like, yeah, this is a song we sang, remember, it goes like, and he's just saying random babbling stuff, and she's trying to keep up with what he's saying, and it's hilarious. And to see, when I started watching a whole bunch of her skits and seeing what she's done, like I said, I can't recall. I know what Bridesmaids is. I don't remember seeing that film. So for me to know her from the comedy side, that's seconds of when you see her go from the type of characters I know her from on SNL skits to see her do now. She's going full on like sexy. I know the movie that she did, which was awkward, which was Ghostbusters and stuff, and she plays that. That's because a lot of characters on SNL are very much like that. So that scene of her being sexy, I'm like, okay. And now in this trailer, they show her expressiveness. They give a little bit more to weight to why she's so awkward and her jealousy issues with Wonder Woman. But more so, you start to see a lot more anger in her. And I was kind of buying it in the short little bit of seconds that we had. Like, I actually like trailers. I think trailers are almost like mini movies just to get your appetizer, get you wet. Little mild appetizer before we get you to the main course. And those were the things that interest me most, is really hoping that the little seeds of interest that's been sparked in me, as a trailer should, I really hope that blossoms out. I really hope that I really root for the person that you don't see coming, the person you would have never thought. Ben Affleck. When people said Ben Affleck for Batman, I was like, Ben Affleck? And the people like, Ben Affleck. I'm like, Ben Affleck? I just couldn't see it till I saw it. And when they showed him in the suit, it was like, oh yeah. And then when they gave that monologue and where he talks to Alfred, it was those moments where you actually see Ben Affleck know he's the character. And I'm really hoping I find that this is something that I think if Kristen Wiig could land it, this could open up the doors for her in a lot of different ways in terms of, and it's a lot of things with comedians. They have real interesting tortured pasts. You know what I mean? And before I get too extended, there's a series on, I think it's on Comedy Central, where they have comedians talking about like funny jokes, but it's stories, and some of their stories, when you strip it of their funny personality, and it's a lot of it be kind of dark when you really take it on. If you wasn't saying that somebody else said this and we just throw a different beat in the back, you might need to talk to someone about this story. And that's always been the thing behind the scenes with a lot of comedians. They have a lot more depth to them than you may realize, because their comedy usually comes from something darker. And that's where the comedy is, that they can find the laughter out of everything. Then this is why I'm so you see me talking about it because I'm very interested to see what Kristen Wiig does with this character, because this, if she can, and everybody always use it, this could be her Heath Ledger role that would take her into maybe different realms of filmmaking. Like, this may be the film that makes her find herself in her own monster, if you will, where she'll be the Charlize Theron, if you will, where people could honestly look at her and say, just like how a lot of people say when they looked at the first X-Men film. You know, I know a lot of people always want to say it's Blade, and I feel you too, but X-Men was the shining light, and that made Hollywood say, yeah, we could do it. I'm wondering if this could be hers, and that's what really my biggest thing. Otherwise, trailer, loved it.
I mean, the only thing that you used the word a few times with sexy was, I wasn't looking for anything sexiness in Kristen Wiig. I was just seeing if she could pull off a villain.
Well,
and it was just the gravity of playing, which you would call, the term would be the heavy.
Well, I don't think I was saying I was looking for. So
I
will say that I did notice a moment where she stood out and it looked like she brought in the sex appeal, and you could kind of tell by the trope. She gets more confident. She's wearing the clothes. You could kind of tell, like, that's easy. But yeah, I think that's part of the transformation in her getting to it. I'm not saying I'm looking for it. They put it there. I just noticed it and it stood out to me. And the fact that it just seemed like she carried it well really sparked the interest in me figuring out, could she actually change her whole... I seen her different in that moment. That's my point why I brought it up. It's not about looking for sexy in particular. It was the fact that she did come off that way, and I wasn't even expecting that to be the next jump. I figured it would have been like, oh, she's like the nerdy one, and then she gets into, like, she turns into this monster. No, they're making a progression into her character, and it's an old trope. Like, you look at Gal Gadot, she's obviously a very attractive and sexy woman. She could do sexy, and she's a fly chick all throughout this film. Like, she's on her fashion joint, and she was doing that since the first appearance in BVS. So to see her going through the same kind of going from, you could tell she's jealous of her. So when she gets her powers, you obviously could tell it's going to be the syndrome of getting to be like Wonder Woman, for her to get to be like Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, the person that she looks up to or wish she could be. That will be her beginning point. Now she's wearing the fly dresses and stuff like how Gal Gadot is, but she's bringing a certain, like I said, it's a little shot, and you could tell she went from being the nerdy one to the sexy one. So obviously the next you could tell that's going to be the progression step for her, from going from there to going losing her mind and being this ultra villainous. So it's not about me looking for Cheetah to be sexy at all. I mean, I just want to make that point. But I felt like the fact that it looked like I noticed that. I'm hoping that the next jump into being the villain is, if I could see that out of that, my hope is that I could see now the villain. I want to see that transition. There was a moment in there where her face it seemed like she had a more dramatic face, and that really stood out to me from the filmography that I know her from, or the TVography that I know her from, and that's the interest that I had. But that's just for me to clarify. But anything you want to wrap up on the trailer?
No. I thought the trailer was dope, and I can't wait to see the movie. And to be honest, I don't need another trailer.
Okay.
I don't need another trailer. I think that it's revealed enough without revealing enough, and there's no need to see any more footage or anything like that. I think the trailer did what it's supposed to do, and that's it.
Well, we'll see.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well, we'll see when the movie drops, because if they push this movie back out again, they may have to drop another trailer. That might not be something that you feel like they need to do, but I mean, all things fair in business. I'm gonna be surprised if they felt like they would need to do it just to
Yeah,
keep it
of
back
course.
to the front lobe of people's minds, so they know that this movie is coming, and hopefully it does. I mean, before I even leave, do you think that any suggestions you believe that they should? Because a big conversation online, if you're aware of, is that they're wondering if this should be shot directly to the streaming services or it should get its theatrical run.
I'm more inclined for a theatrical run, but it really depends on, listen, if you're looking at movie theaters waiting another 6, 7 months before you can really get the bang for your buck, then maybe you should try. Like what Disney's doing with Mulan, which will open up, and I think you can rent it for a day for $25 or something like that. You know, you might have to take that chance. Because you got to think of it this way. This is how you got to think of it. The average movie ticket is $20 to $25. So let's say you say let's just go up to $30 for the comfort of your home. You can rent the movie, and let's say for 2 days. Because right now, new movies on Amazon or, they usually get a 2-day rental. I don't know if they're going to do a 2-day or a 1-day. But let's say they said, because I think Mulan is either $25 or $29.99, $30. Let's say you can get a 2-day rental for $30. Then you might want to gamble with, hey, we don't know when movie theaters will fully open up to full capacity. Because even the movies that are opening up theaters, it's like 25% capacity, things like that. So you might want to say, hey, all those people that would have came out opening weekend, they might still just pay the $30 and see it from their home. And guess what? The interesting thing is how like when there's a box office, right? Movie theaters, they split some of their profit goes to the movie theater itself. You know what I mean? The company itself, AMC Theater. So if a movie makes X amount of dollars, AMC Theater takes a small percentage because they premiered the movie. Well, you know what? You cut that out. Now I don't know if it's on HBO Max or how that percentage, how that issue goes. Obviously with Disney Plus, that's Disney, so I don't think they're really splitting much. But I think that if you're told that we're looking at another 6, 7 months, I think it might be worth the gamble. And I think, hey, what better way for DC to gamble than to say, you know what? We're going to put Wonder Woman out. It's going to come out Christmas Day or whatever. $30. You can have it in your home. You can have a 2-day rental where you can watch it more than once. And you might want to take the gamble on that. You might want to just take that gamble. You never know. You might actually make more money. You might make more money. Because people are going to see it in their home. They don't have to worry about buying popcorn, stuff like that. You might actually hear more money is made.
I mean, it's possible. It's in the realm of possibility.
It's in the realm, like I said. I mean, I want to theatrical release, which I think is what people want. But again, how long do you want to play the waiting game before somebody throws the towel?
Well, it's got to be a sacrificial lamb. And the thing is, no one wants the sacrificial lamb to be a Tedpole blockbuster film that you've invested a lot of money into and you won't get the return.
I guess we're gonna find out what we're on.
Absolutely right. I think that is the first one to roll out.
Yeah, that'll be the first big one because I know this smaller one, the horror movie, Antebellum, will be coming out in September. So, and obviously we have Trolls, which I heard was a success online. Trolls, the straight to demand.
No, I heard that as well.
But I mean, obviously Trolls is no Mulan and no Wonder Woman. But I think Mulan is, let's put it this way. Mark my words that you heard this conversation from me. If Mulan is a big success, if Mulan, you hear the newspaper say, oh my God, the money that Disney made straight to demand Mulan and people paid the $29.99, Wonder Woman will be on demand. And all the movie theaters, all the movies that you see in the can now, they'll be coming out.
Well, I mean, we shall.
The only one I think they're going to wait on, I think Disney, with Mulan, I still think they will wait for Black Widow. I think they don't have a problem holding off Black Widow till 2021 just to see the same thing with James Bond. I think they're going to hold out as long as they can. But I do think if Mulan is a big hit, I think you will see Wonder Woman 1984 streaming.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
Well, I guess we'll definitely see about that. I mean, the week is coming, and then we'll be here. It's just all about seeing how the new design is gonna be. This is an experiment that hasn't been tried before, and not everybody is. As time goes on, people are getting pressured to make these decisions. And the only other thing that DC has to worry about is what is going to be the road moving forward, because Ben Affleck is signed on to be in the new Flash film, but we're still not exactly sure the direction of the DCEU in totality, but we'll find out later on today. I know the Wonder Woman panel just ended started at 1. I guess it ended around 2. I know about like 2.5 hours we'll be seeing the Snyder event, which I look forward to seeing. So we'll get this. This is a new experiment, never been done before, and hopefully we'll see how this all will measure out. But well, with that being said, I enjoyed the Wonder Woman trailer. These were my thoughts on it, and these were T's thoughts onto it. And would you like to sign off, T?
Yeah, everybody, but you know me, for all the movie lovers out there in the world, listen, all the movies, we'll see you next time. Just as it. Birth, death, movie.
That's a whole fact.
It's birth, I'm sorry, I did it wrong. And it's an actual t-shirt. It's birth, movies, death.
Hey man, why not? Why not, man? We in the movie community as well, and just like a community is supposed to do, this is only good and only works when we get your guys' engagement. So please don't be afraid, don't be shy. Leave it all in the comments below about how you feel about the trailer. Are you excited? How'd you feel about the cheetah reveal? Was it everything you wanted, everything you anticipated? And how do you feel about the invisible jet? Because I feel like there's an invisible jet, and that's going to be interesting, huh?
I think we are getting the invisible jet. And just a personal note to the audience, you know, obviously myself and Joe talk about movies. I wouldn't consider myself a critic of a movie. I'm just a guy who loves movies. That's it.
Okay.
That's just a personal note for those who may want to know. You know,
I thought you was gonna go in about the actual the invisible jet. That's what I thought you was expounding on. Okay.
Just something to say to the audience, personal about me. I'm just a guy who loves movies.
No, I get it.
I'm just a guy who loves movies.
Hey. I get it. But some people over here, we do geek up a lot more about the meticulous nature, behind the scenes stuff. I mean, that's what we do. You know, when it's DC Fandom this weekend, everybody's really excited to see what they're going to do moving forward with the DCEU. I'm one of them. I know you're just like, hey, whatever happens, happens. You just, whatever they throw to you on the screen. I'm the same way, but I do. That's why it's the flicks picks and the nitpicks. We like to pick apart a lot of the small stuff, the genre stuff. Everybody got things that they're very interested in. My thing has always been comic book movies. I come from comic books, so yeah, I get real deep into the mud with it. I like the little small thing, the interconnective layers, the tissue that they're trying to tie everything to. So that's something that I'm very much into. But as always, when I come up into the movie theater, or anytime I approach a movie, it's all about the movie, and I try to judge the movie against what the movie is trying to present. But in speculation territory, that's going to be an interesting one, how they're gonna do this invisible plane. That's gonna be interesting. But in any event, man, like I said, the engagement is all about what's going on down below. So let's get it popping. Let's get it talking. Let's chop it up. Let's get into the geek territory about what we can expect from this film, as opposed I mean, as well as the other films that they got coming down the pipeline in the DCU, because I'm very much interested in seeing what they're going to do with this universe and how connective is it going to be. Are they going to split it? I mean, these are questions that I'm looking forward to being answered today. So without further ado, like, share, subscribe. See you next time. And as always, till I have a better outro, chill.